Happy Friday! So today's the last day of Perseverance Week. And the big question is, how do we persevere? What does perseverance even look like? We spent the whole week talking about what's worth persevering for during this time. So, all the things that you're working for. You know what's been stressing you about all of this effort, and you've identified what you're struggling with that requires you to persevere in the first place. So we've said that perseverance is the steady persistence in a course of action, purpose, a state, etc., especially in spite of difficulties, obstacles, or discouragement. We've talked a lot about that last 2/3 of the definition, but in order to figure out how to persevere and what that looks like, we have to look at that first part. Steady persistence. And the word I really want to focus on is steady. What do you need to feel steady? What do you need to keep you going? And I'm not asking what you need to do, because that's really important. You have to understand what steps you need to do. But if you're persevering, then likely this isn't something new, and you probably have a good idea what you should be doing. You're probably shooting all over yourself all the time, right? And when we don't know that next step, when we're not sure about what to do next, even though we know what we want to persevere for, it's usually because we don't feel grounded, because we feel unsteady, right? And indecisive. So what keeps you grounded? And I'm talking about those things that help you to remember to breathe when it feels overwhelming, to take one step after the other, that remind you that you're doing the right thing and that everything will be okay, and brings you to this present moment and roots you in gratitude. Because perseverance is like a strong word. Perseverance, right? Like strong, strength. But it's really the tiny steps that you're taking every day. Because remember, these are hard times, full of difficulties, obstacles, and discouragement. So I'm talking about the things that soothe your soul so you can persevere. Here are my 6 must-haves to persevere during obstacles, difficulties, and hard times. First, connection. During hard times, I need my people. I need my husband, my parents, my siblings, my friends. I remember I was having a hard time last November, and I weepily was like, I need my brother. And so that's what I did. For my birthday, my husband took me to Nashville so I could get that family time. So connection is one of the very first things I need to be able to persevere during hard times. Second, rest. And I don't just mean sleep here. Sleep is really important, and figuring out how you can make sure you're getting sleep, whether it's filling in with naps or weighted blankets, whatever you need to get your restful sleep, you should definitely do that. But I mean like escapes for your ever busy mind. For me, it's rom-com novels. I just heard of this new thing, chick lit. I absolutely hate that name, but I love those books. A happy, sexy story to take the edge off and just like make me escape is so amazing. I can finish them in like a day and a half. Music. So all things music. Sometimes I dance, sometimes I listen, sometimes I watch or I put on live performances in the background, and I pick a theme song every week. I listen to gospel music when I wake up in the morning. I listen to 90s pop. When I work, I just wish my life could be an entire soundtrack, and it's never more important than when I need to persevere and push through hard things. So rest, things that give my mind an escape. 3, support. And this is different than connection because it's like a more specific kind of connection. It's relegated to specific friends and family and my coach. And another interesting place that I get support from are my audiobooks. So I don't really know what they're called, but they're like inspirational memoirs. And especially during COVID, I've listened to quite a few. Get Out of Your Own Way by Dave Hollis, Untamed by Glennon Doyle, Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. I'm listening to More Than Enough by Elaine Welteroth right now. There's this quote I love. It's from the play History Boys, and it says something about how a good book or a good story feels as though someone has come out and touched your hand. And that always describes how I feel about books in general, but memoirs specifically. It's so nice to know that people struggle through the same things and that there's, lessons to be learned on the other side. And honestly, sometimes misery just loves company, right? So hearing how other people went through a tough time and came out the other side is so inspiring. So support, and that could be people you know and people you don't. Fourth, freedom routine. So this is how I center myself, focus myself, get myself going every single day. And it's never more important than when I'm persevering during hard times. My freedom routine is prayer, journaling, gratitude, meditation, and movement. And I say movement, especially during perseverance, because I don't mean exercise. For me, it's a ton of walking. I walk a whole lot. It's where I listen to my, motivational memoirs. And I just need to get into my body, but I don't give myself a lot of pressure to lift weights. I just need to be moving. And that altogether, rinse and repeat, is my freedom routine. Number 5, self-compassion. So when you're constantly facing discouragement and every breath feels hard and every step feels difficult, then you're not always going to be able to find comfort and support outside of you. So you need to be able to comfort yourself. You need to be able to support yourself, love yourself, cheer yourself on. So for me, that looks like celebrating small things. I have celebration sound. I'll have little things throughout the day that I get to do when I do things. Allowing myself to let go of mistakes, to be wrong, to try anyway. And I remind myself of those things through mantras on my sticky notes on my mirror. My newest one was, "You like it rough." I like that it's a little bit sexual, and it really just reminds me that I like a good challenge. So, whatever floats your boat. So mantra stickies, mantra reminders, naps, intentionally unproductive days, and really sparse days. So I let myself have really tunnel vision so I can persevere through the thing that I need to persevere through. So I let myself be hyper focused, and I really give myself space and room, #sorry not sorry. This is what I'm focusing on. Move out of the way, all other things. So self-compassion. 6, direction. So the final one is the most important, and I think it is the most universal too. I need to know why. You need to know why. You need to understand why persevering through this thing that you've decided that you're going to persevere through is important in the first place. And this is when Coach Franzani comes in. Because the truth is, if it's not important, or if it's important for the wrong reasons, maybe it's time to give up that ghost. Maybe you shouldn't be persevering through it in the first place. Maybe that feeling of dread is really a feeling of you needing to say goodbye. And what you need to do is persevere through heartbreak. So ask yourself over and over and over, why is this important to me? And let yourself answer every single time until you hit that feeling, whether it's goosebumps, whether it's the color draining from your face, whether it's the pit in your stomach, or that excitement, whatever that zing is that lets you know, that's it, that's the thing, that's why I'm doing this. And then pressure test it. If your best friend, if your daughter, if your niece, if your younger self told you this is why you were doing this thing and why it was important to you, what would you say to them? What would you say to them? Are you doing this for the right reasons? Are you doing it to please someone? You need to know why. So those are my 6 must-haves to persevere: connection, rest, support, my freedom routine, self-compassion, and direction. So what do you need to be steady, grounded, and centered for this thing that you're persevering through? What do you need to feed your soul so you can push through and do the heavy lifting, do all the shoulds that your head is plaguing you with? Like what do you need to feel whole so you can persevere through this? So thank you for watching the Daily Huddle with me, Life Coach Franzani. Every week I pick a theme, and every day we discuss a topic under that theme, all around better every day, because we don't hope to have a good life, we work to live our very best lives. I'll see you here bright and early on Monday morning. Give yourself an amazing weekend.